Welcome to Behind the Scenes Extreme Makeover Home Edition Hattiesburg. We're your host, Beth Alexander.
And I'm Mercer Morrison. We're going to bring you an extraordinary story of a community coming together to help a deserving family.
You'll see stories of extreme kindness,
extreme generosity,
and extreme love.
But first, let's start at the beginning.
Some really exciting news that's happening in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It's going to make some people extremely happy. And I'm here to tell you all this morning, and I'm just as excited as I can be, that they have decided to select a home, 1 out of 5 homes in the Hattiesburg area to do the Extreme Makeover Home Edition. And I think that deserves a round of applause for that.
With the mayor's announcement, the Extreme Makeover began, and the call for help went out.
We will need your help. Obviously, one company can't tackle this. It's a steep hill to climb, but as we've been working in the background quietly, we recognize it's going to happen.
The community first responded at an early morning pep rally with more than 600 people in attendance. Several local celebrities engaged the crowd to extreme heights.
Just like a football team, you got a lot of pressure on you. And I'm going to tell you one word that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to attack. You're going to have to attack. Each and every day, you're going to have to attack.
Part of the attack includes motivating citizens to participate.
I hope it gets Hattiesburg very excited and make us a people that will donate our time and give of ourselves for other people.
The entire nation is going to be watching our city on TV to see what kind of spirit and how unified we will be when we build this home for this family.
Knowing that all eyes are on Hattiesburg, Ray Guy believes it is a perfect opportunity for its citizens to shine.
It would tell about how down-to-earth Hattiesburg is and the people in the community and how they get involved in crises and things like this to be on, I guess you call it national TV, and for people to see what the city of Hattiesburg represents and what it means to not only the community but also to the country in general.
To build the Heathcock's house, Hattiesburg's generosity must be extreme.
We got a house to build. We know how to do that. But there are a lot of other things that have to take place in order to bring this city together and bring the volunteers together.
We're going to need volunteers and additional sponsors to help make this happen.
And that's just what Hattiesburg did.
When we say Hollywood is coming to town, it is coming to town.
Before Ty even knocked on the door, volunteers worked tirelessly to make this extreme makeover a reality.
We are just grateful that we have people that care enough about us to help us have a safe environment to live in. I would like some floors that aren't sagging and a roof that's not falling in.
The Heathcock family never imagined such a small request could lead to such an extreme outpour of community support, but that's exactly what happened. Extreme Makeover Home Edition rolled into the Pine Belt to give the Heathcocks a brand new home, but they couldn't do it alone. They needed volunteers. Organizers created ExtremeHattiesburg.com so people could go online and sign up. They also set up tables during the Extreme Pep Rally. Remember the old saying, be careful what you ask for? Well, Sharon Rice, organizer for Unskilled Volunteers, found out firsthand.
We've had a tremendous amount of turnout. Yeah, the website, in fact, we had to close the website down yesterday afternoon late with people being able to sign up because we just had so many, and it was just being able to where we couldn't manage it, and because we were trying to slot people in the times that they had signed up for, and then just with our scheduling of the show, the way the producers have given us on how many volunteers we would need each day for certain things, then some of the scheduling had changed up a little bit. So so we had to move people where we thought we might needed 40, then we only needed 30. So moving people around. And then the pep rally, we got a tremendous amount of people that signed up yesterday at the pep rally. And so, you know, we want to use as many people as we can. And I think that will be the only thing that'll be disheartening to me, because just like me wanting to help and to give back, these people, that's what they want to do too. So, you know, we want want to try to use as many people as we can and get them put in positions to be able to help out.
Scott Holmes, who also helped organize unskilled volunteers, found the whole process rewarding.
Most rewarding benefits of any project are usually not in the end result. They're usually in the effort to get to that point. So all the camaraderie and the spirit and the people working together and the new relationships and sphere of influence is overlapping and understanding, learning other people's strengths and weaknesses as a community is very positive. So although the family will get the house, the community will benefit from being a lot stronger.
Wendy Hogue, William Carey girls softball coach, got a last-minute call to help organize volunteers. She found the request difficult, but not impossible.
Can't just say, you know, sorry, I can't help this week, got better things to do. So what I did when I got the call, it was actually about 8:45 last night, and I started trying to find which of my girls. I have a lot of local girls, but most of them are out of town. Was able to get a couple of our pedal girls. One of them brought her little sister that helped us out today, and then I was able to call some of the other students here in Cary that live in town. So it was a little difficult on short notice, not to get people that want to help, but to get people that were actually in town and were able to come and help.
Next came the task of calling all the volunteers and setting up work times and preparing them for the renovation. Hundreds, even thousands of people anxiously awaited the phone call confirming their request to volunteer.
This is Caitlin from Extreme Makeover Home Edition. I was calling to let you know that you've been selected to be an unskilled labor volunteer.
As volunteers were confirmed, they were instructed to go to the check-in site where they would meet up with the lead volunteers to make sure they were properly prepared. Volunteers were then separated into skilled and unskilled groups. Ronnie Blackwell, lead for skilled volunteers, makes sure the skilled labor is qualified.
I also served as the lead volunteer for, responsible for staffing the trades check-in tent. That's where we have the volunteers that are responsible for the skilled laborers that come to the job site. They come through our tent to where we can register and make sure they're qualified and have all the release papers signed to have access to the job site.
After all releases are signed, volunteers were taken to the site. Skilled volunteers were put to work in the areas of qualification. These areas varied from construction, pouring cement, spraying insulation, nailing, siding, and laying brick, to name a few. Unskilled volunteers waited in the holding tent until they were needed.
All right, I need 4 volunteers. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thank you.
Their duties ranged from serving food, moving the family belongings, unloading furniture, to carrying materials. No volunteer job was too small in the grand scheme of things. They were there to help around the clock, and even during some unfavorable weather conditions. Each volunteer had their own personal reasons for wanting to be part of this extreme renovation.
I wanted to volunteer just to have the spirit that builds and help someone in the community.
Well, I volunteer with a lot of stuff around town, and they called me last night to see if I could do this, and I've always watched Extreme Home Makeover on TV, and I've always wanted to help with it.
In the service, and to give their lives up and keep us safe here in the homeland, United States.
I've always wanted to do something to help the community, and what a great opportunity.
I want to be involved just to give back. You know, I watch it on TV all the time and everything like that, and I just thought it would be, very make you feel good.
Congressman Gene Taylor traded in his suit for a hard hat and poncho to help out.
I know Sergeant Hitchcock. I've actually visited with him over in Iskandariyah, Iraq in 2005. When he's home as a police officer, he's now on his second deployment to Iraq, and obviously his family needed some help, and it's just great that so many people are donating their time today into these materials to put him in the sort of house he deserves.
David Thompson of AAA Homes finds the community support overwhelming.
When you see what people have given, and I know some of these people, I know the type of year they've had financially. You know, we're not talking about major corporations. We're talking about Joe and Cindy Jones Incorporated that have a small shop, and I see $10,000 of pizzas being given to this thing. I see an architect that's put 340 hours plus into designing the house plans, working 20 hours a day for a few weeks to get this thing done so quickly. Cliff Brown, handling the PR on this. Well over 100 hours and counting just to see these things come about.
Volunteers were a major part of this extreme project. We would like to thank all those who volunteered. Without you, this extreme makeover couldn't have been done.
The Heathcock family home marks the beginning of several extreme things.
Like Extreme Makeover Home Edition's first visit to Hattiesburg.
And Hattiesburg's first certified green home.
Sherman and Gina Heathcock are going to get the first green certified home to ever be built in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
To the naked eye, this house appears yellow, but in reality, it's green. Gary Smith, Chief Greenhouse Inspector, tells us what makes a house green.
Green homes are more energy efficient than a standard built constructed home. This home's being built to the NAHB Green Building Guidelines. So the homeowner will, of course, save energy and their air quality will be improved. So we're real proud to be a part of this program.
Jonathan Boone, who is a part of the exterior design team, describes the benefits the Heathcock family will get with the green certified home.
Lower energy bills, safer indoor environment. They're going to be breathing better air. They're going to be using less water, which, of course, helps the environment.
Mr. Thompson talked about what sealed the deal for him to work on this extreme project.
A home builder in Jackson that did this told me, David, it is the Super Bowl of home building. You just got to decide, do you want to play in it or do you want to watch it? Well, that pretty much sealed the deal.
Building this home was the least Dave Thompson could do in thanking Sherman Heathcock for what he is doing for this country.
The man he's allowing me to play golf in the afternoon. He's allowing you to do whatever you do every day. We're not having to worry about our freedom here. Got a wife and kids here. Wife taking care of 3 kids in a horrible home.
Mr. Thompson commented on the condition of the old home.
I've seen the home. I've been in the home. It needs to be torn down.
With the house finally demolished, the builders and volunteers can now rebuild and give a new start to this family. Without volunteers, Extreme Home Makeover couldn't happen.
Those volunteers included corporate sponsors.
Imagine a house without concrete.
Without electricity.
Or without the financial means to build.
Our next story shows some of those key sponsors and why they decided to give.
None of this happens unless there is a builder, a building company who decides to step up and say, yes, we will put our entire company, our business on hold for a month, and we will commit our resources to building a home for a complete stranger, as it turns out. So I just want to give a big hand out to AAA Homes.
When you think of sponsors, you generally think of those who donate money, but sponsorship extends beyond monetary means. There's a respect for the individual and an extreme belief in the process.
We were given a very short window of time to make a decision because this show has to be done. Basically, they called us and said, we'd like an answer tomorrow. There's 3 of us in this, Gary, Lee, Everett, and myself. And so, we're trying to call one another and talk about all the ramifications. Obviously, one of the biggest challenges that we've had, if you know anything about home building, it's been a tough year, the toughest since 1944. We are asking this whole community, every trade, every builder, really a who's who of this city and this whole area is building this house. We had to go out and raise the funds, raise the labor, raise the materials. They have stepped up and stepped up big time, as we knew Hattiesburg would.
Fordham talked about the significance of the extreme makeover.
Sherman serves in the National Guard, and he's out there protecting our country and our freedoms. The family is sacrificing their father and their husband for